The SEGA Saturn was home to a lot of amazing 2D games, which today we consider quite the blessing. But back in 1995, having 2D games on your platform was seen as a curse because gamers' tastes were quickly changing. No longer were 2D action platformers the genre of choice, instead replaced by 3D action games like Tomb Raider and Resident Evil. Everyone was talking more and more about 3D games, leaving 2D games to fall by the wayside. With the launch of the SEGA Saturn and the Sony PlayStation, fewer and fewer people were interested in new 2D games. They were seen as a relic of the past, best forgotten by most. Astal was released during this time period, which was very unfortunate, as it's a shining example of just how incredible 2D games on the Saturn could be. It was released in late 1995, right around the same time the PlayStation 1 launched, and while it received some rather impressive reviews in many of the game magazines of the time, it was completely overlooked by the masses. I'll say one thing, the box art sure didn't help sell any copies, that's for damn sure. Astal is a beautiful 2D action platformer where you move from left to right trying to make your way to the stage's exit. After every few levels you face off against a huge, powerful boss. It's all standard fare to be honest, but it remains quite fun to play to this very day. Astal has several interesting powers at his disposal. He can ground stomp, causing his enemies to be stunned for a short period of time. He can let out a powerful air breath attack that destroys weaker foes, and he can pound on enemies with his oversized hands. He can also pick up massive trees and boulders and throw them at groups of enemies. The gameplay twist that made Astal somewhat unique was with his bird companion. Halfway through the first level, Astal finds a bird locked up in a cage. Freeing the bird not only unlocks a co-op mode, but a powerful ally. The bird has several uses. He can scout ahead and find a life regeneration item, he can attack an enemy, or he can fly around the screen attacking absolutely everyone. In order to make use of the bird, you have to collect karma crystals, which certain enemies hold. Defeating these enemies will replenish the meter you see at the bottom center of the screen. The bird's strength and which healing item it delivers to you will vary depending on how full the karma meter is. In co-op mode, a second player can take control of the bird and attack enemies at the same time as Astal. It's actually a great way to ease yourself into the game. Now I'm not going to lie to you guys, Astal isn't the deepest game out there. The core gameplay has been done a million times before on the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. Astal is also an incredibly linear game with only one clear path to take. It was the combination of the fun gameplay and incredible audio-visual package that really made Astal stand out, even though the rest of the game is fairly basic. The game also features an interesting storyline that deals with the creation story. Long story short, Astal and Lita were two creatures created to live on this peaceful world. Evil eventually broke in, stole Lita, and Astal rescued her but at a great cost. Astal was then banished, and now he wants to break free and find Lita. It's something like that anyway. After every boss fight, you're treated to a nice little static cutscene that shows how the story is advancing. Once everything is said and done, you'll make your way through 16 levels of beautiful 2D, hand-drawn, sprite-filled, overly colorful environments. The backgrounds often look like paintings come to life. The sprites, while not overly large, are incredibly well detailed and animate beautifully. The soundtrack is wonderful, featuring sweeping melodies and incredible themes in each level. The music fits each new environment perfectly, and to be honest, I used to actually listen to the soundtrack on my CD player back in '95. Please, don't judge me. Some of the voice acting is a little bit cheesy, and yes, it's all in English, but it does a decent enough job. In the end, Astal is a game that so few people have ever had a chance to play. It hasn't been ported anywhere else. It was a completely overlooked game upon its release in '95, and I truly consider this a hidden gem on the Saturn. Thanks to YouTube and the recent resurgence of popularity with all things Saturn related, Astal has slowly been increasing in price as more and more people find out out about the game. Today, a complete in-box copy can be had for around $50 to $60, but if you're patient and wait for an auction instead of a buy it now, you can most likely score the game for a little bit cheaper than that. While Astal certainly didn't break trends for action platformers, it's an excellent game to show you what the Saturn was capable of in terms of 2D graphics. If you're a fan of the genre, there's a lot of fun to be had here, and if you're a fan of the Saturn, this is one you should most certainly pick up as a showpiece title. It's such a shame the world had moved on from 2D because Astal should have been the start of something amazing. Alas, it was never meant to be.